So this video is all about connecting to a power that's greater than you. To God, to Allah, Buddha, to the universe, to the sun, to the moon, whatever energies you want to name, that power that's greater than you. In my world, it is an absolute. There is no question in my mind that there aren't powers. Absolutely, in my world, there are powers that are greater than me. Do I want to work in tandem with them, or do I want to be fighting them? That's always the question, because we're given free will. Human beings have been given free will for a reason, so that we don't have to go down the road that the divine wants us to if we don't want to. We're allowed to be miserable. We're allowed to be confused. We're allowed to have despair, right? That's how much the divine loves us. It allows us that freedom. The question is, how do we utilize it? Okay? For me, the question more is, how do I connect with those powers? Because for me, I want to be in tandem with them, because whatever you want to call it, way more powerful than me, can get things done way quicker than my little humanness. So I have here a deity, and this is what we call Chenrezig, 1,000-armed Chenrezig. So some people will connect with powers greater than themselves through iconography, through looking at images. So when you see an image of the Virgin Mary or Jesus or a Buddha, what people are really bowing to, if you will, or praying to, is the representation of the energy. Okay? In Buddhism, at least, I can't speak about Christianity or any other religion, but in Buddhism, we don't bow to a statue. It's obviously a metal statue. What we do, however, surrender to is the representation of the energy that this is embodying. All right? So this energy is about compassion, it is about calmness, it is about love, and it is about having 1,000 arms out in the world in action. All right? So it's not just 2 arms, it's 1,000-armed Chenrezig. So when people say, well, Buddhists, Tibetan Buddhists, they bow to statues, they bow to deities, they bow to people, we surrender to the teachings or to the energies that people or statues represent. Other ways that people get in touch with a higher power, a God source, just very simply, lighting a candle. Just light a candle and sit with it. Who created that light? Who created this mechanism to turn this light on? It's a power greater than you. I don't know how it happens. I can't make it happen without this lighter in this. A power greater than us did. It worked through some human being to create this lighter to figure out how to light a candle. So this is another mechanism that I say to people, just light a candle and sit in front of it and stare at it and focus. Or every time you light a candle, just surrender a little bit of your ego up to a power that's greater than you. Other ways that people can connect to those higher powers, through music. Okay? Simply put music on. And there's a frequency, 432 megahertz, which is the frequency of life. It is the speed of life. So you want to be listening to music with at least a frequency of 432. The heavy rock, metal stuff, much, much lower frequency. Some of the high frequency music is choral music or Gregorian chant. So if you want an even higher vibration to bring you into the God consciousness very quickly, I tend to use Gregorian chant or some of the Buddhist chants that the monks record. Again, this is a way to quickly have a relationship with that divine essence. I am all about practicality. I'm all about how can I do it quicker, right? Because when I'm in a snit or in a snag, I want the connection now. I don't want to wait a week. I don't want to wait a moment. It's like, help me now. All right, so I light a candle, or I get on my knees, or I look at a statue, or I put some music on. Some other ways that people connect with their higher power, and again, these are suggestions. You go into nature. Now, nature in and of itself has a vibration of harmony. There is a structure and patterning within nature that is in all nature. Mathematicians actually have a formula that all of nature abides by. And that's why there's harmony there. There is no ego in nature. That is why the divine is present there. There's no ego. They call it the Fibonacci equation, in fact, that we have it within the cells of our bones and our being. Every cell has this absolute mathematical equation. You will find it in plants. They've cut across a plant stem and looked. It is mainly a spiral. There is a spiral patterning of the energy, and they call this the Fibonacci equation. So when you write it out in mathematical terms, that's what the equation is. You will find it in the sun, the moon, the stars. You will find it in relation to the trees and the sky, right? So it is everywhere in nature. That's why there's so much harmony in nature. So go to nature to find that alignment, that calmness, that peacefulness. Another place you'll find it is in art galleries. When you look at high art, art by the masters, Van Gogh, Cézanne, Picasso, any of the Aboriginal artists that are of a high frequency, all you have to do is look at it. Stare at the actual art. And by looking at it, the frequency of your body will be elevated. And as it is elevated, you get taken, transcended into the eternal, into powers that are way beyond you. When those masters were painting, they were channels of those powers that were great. So go to art galleries. That stillness is there.